Welcome to my channel, Outside the Levees. I'm Jared Serenay, and today I'm sitting down with the Dennis family from South Louisiana. Duck hunting traditions run deep in the Dennis family, and I'm happy to show a little bit about what they do. Mr. Errol Dennis is 80 years old and still duck hunts on a regular basis. Tune in and see what he has to say about how duck hunting has changed over the years. Let's get it started. All right, good morning. We're down here in Delacroix, special place for me. You know, I have family origins here. I'm here with the Dennis family this morning. They have family origins here as well. In fact, we got Mr. Errol Dennis with us, and he's one of the last old-timers who still hunts on a regular basis. You know, once you get up in age, it's kind of hard to get up and do these hunts, but he's mad at them and he still goes, so it's really cool to be out here with him today and his two sons and hear some of their story. But I'm gonna need y'all to put on y'all thinking caps for this one, because we're gonna go over some history. We're gonna go over some not so fun facts about coastal land loss down here in Louisiana. But this is an important story to tell. We might be fighting a little bit of rain, but that ain't gonna stop us this morning. All right, y'all stay tuned. I think they're coming. Well, it started to rain, but they were smart and they brought these nice little umbrellas. We got our rain gear on. We're gonna wait them out. We had a good little group of ducks flying this morning, you know? But the wind switched, like entirely switched. Not even close to what the forecast said it was gonna be. So we put some decoys back on the other side, and hopefully we didn't miss all of our opportunities and we'll get some ducks moving around. Once the rain picked up, the ducks pretty much quit flying. A warm fire and some dry clothes were calling, so we picked up and headed back to the camp. On the way in, Mr. Errol and his sons, Errol Jr. and Scott, showed me some places they used to hunt that simply don't exist anymore. Coastal erosion and hurricanes had completely washed them away.
All right, Jared, right here, if you can see on this old map, we are in the pond, or where the pond used to be, where my brother and I both killed our first ducks hunting with my dad 40 years ago for me and probably 45 years ago for Errol. So, but if you look around now, there's a little bit of land which would have been the south side of the pond, but we used to have to enter this way through a little narrow bayou. You can pan around, there's just nothing there. We've lost at least 400 acres due to the land just washing away.
But the earliest memories here that I have, not only did we shoot a lot of ducks here, this is where we also each shot our first goose. It's rare. My dad has videos of thousands of geese in the marsh when they used to burn the marsh for muskrats. But it was rare for us to see a goose. It was a treat. But that's one of my earlier memories of coming in here, was to have a goose, and we mouth call geese. You know, if you get a single or a pair, you might get them to come by. And he came right over the duck decoys and shot and folded him with, you know, we might have been shooting lead at that point. It was so long ago.
And now it's no longer here.
No longer here. This pond is gone along with a lot of the others, you know, and the people we named them after. They're, you know, it's vanishing.
You know, years ago when it was trapping, with all the property we had here, to get to the middle, we had ditches that was dug by hand, so you can get with a pirogue. You go this way and cut across this way, so they crisscross through the land, because you're running traps, and you had to get in the middle of the land where you couldn't walk it all and carry the rats. So you take a pirogue, go through the ditch, run a bunch of traps, and come back, put them in the rats in the pirogue. Keep going ahead, go do the same thing. It was the only way you could get to the middle of the land and run all your traps. They might have 250 traps set, and you have all them rats, you couldn't carry them all. So to get to the middle of the land, my dad had some people come here and dig canals so you can get through with a pirogue by hand that cuts from one bayou to the other bayou and back and forth, so you could go crisscross and get through the land. A ditch was only wide enough to go through with a pirogue.
So how many feet?
2 feet wide. That was it. You used to pull. You used to have to pull your way through with the grass.
And how wide is it now?
Now, you look at it now, it's got to be, 15, 20 feet, at least 20 feet wide or more.
And what made it wider? Why did it get wider?
Just through the current, just eroding and sinking. Right on the other side over here is where I made my first hunt at 16 years old. Well, that's all gone now. There's nothing left there. You don't see anything anymore. We lost so much land out here. We had 360 acres of land, and I don't know if we got 200 acres left. I don't think we got that much left. There's spots that's completely washed away. It's just gone forever.
We got rained on enough and decided to call in, come on in. So now we're sitting around a fire. I'm gonna catch up with Mr. Errol a little bit and pick his brain on a few things. You know, one of the main things to take away from this video is the fact that South Louisiana, especially on the coast, is washing away. And we lose a football field worth of land every 100 minutes. Over the years, we've lost close to 3,000 square miles of our coast. That's an area the size of Delaware. So if you took the state of Delaware, put it on the bottom of Louisiana and erased it, that's how much we've lost. It's a very dire situation. As much as you see on here us having fun and hunting and fishing and having a good time, we are in the middle of a crisis, no doubt about it. Being that Mr. Errol has experienced our marsh for most of his lifetime, I feel like he's going to be able to put some of that into perspective by talking about all the things that are now gone.
I was born in 1940 in November the 16th, 1940. We lived back and forth. We had a house down here. I lived down here a lot of times during the winter when there was trapping, when my dad would be trapping. Then in the summer, when he was trawling, we lived up in the city. When I was 7, 8 years old, going down here, I remember going to the old schoolhouse. I don't know how many people remember the old wooden schoolhouse we had. We had a two-story wooden schoolhouse, and in the bottom, they had cattle. So we just had the upstairs section of the schoolhouse. Well, my dad and them, when they hunted, they were selling. They was hunting and selling. All they used to shoot was mallards and pintails. That's all we used to shoot. When I first started hunting, mallards was the big thing. I mean, it was common to go out there and shoot the limit of mallards or pintails. When I first hunted when I was 16 years old.
What year would that have been?
That would have been in, say, 56, 57, somewhere in there. Remember my dad, first time he took me out, I showed you that little corner where where I made my first hunt that's gone, it's not there no more. Well, we were sitting in the P-Rog, and I have never shot a shotgun before that. That was the first time. So I'm sitting in the P-Rog with him, and a teal comes lighting the decoys. So he tells me to shoot him. So I shoot him, and I fell out the P-Rog. The gun kicked. It was a 12 gauge. I had never shot a gun before. 12 gauge shotgun, and it knocked me out the side of the P-Rog, and he was laughing at me. And I was always hooked on it. Once I first started, that was it. And I mean, we used to see a lot of ducks in them days, and you had the land. I mean, you had a lot of land. You didn't have all the open water yet. Now you'd be hunting in maybe these little pockets or these little corners, or maybe in a pond where you can kind of control where the ducks are going to come and where they're going to light. I mean, now everything is gone. Where I used to hunt years ago, you know, everything is gone. Now you go out there and nothing but open water. It was just completely different hunting than it is now. It's a little harder. The other thing is you had, you know, I think you had more ducks migrating at that time of the year. Now you got all these places up north where they feeding all these ducks, and they got all these fields that they cut rice and corn, and the ducks go in there, and they say there's no need for them to come down there anymore. So to me, it looks like the migration of the ducks is changing. It's not like it used to be. And what happens is, years ago, like you say, you had ducks coming to one area. Well, next year when them ducks have little ones and they breed, they would bring them back to the same area. Well, now you're getting all these ballots and everything staying up north. There's no need to come. They don't know what it is to come south. They don't come any further than maybe Missouri or Nebraska, and they stay up there. There's no need for them to come down anymore.
So do you think, is there something can be done to try to get some of the duck hunting the way it used to be, or is it just kind of gone for good?
I think it's gone. I don't think you'll see that anymore. I just think the whole thing's changed the migration. That the migration is not like it used to be.
Man, what a cool group of guys. It's awesome to see how deeply duck hunting can be ingrained into a family and that family's culture and traditions. You know, we're probably going to have to adapt because the good old days are not coming back. And it just is what it is. You'll have to try new things and be more patient and go new places. So at the end of the day, we can't control what these ducks are going to do and how they're going to migrate, but we can change our attitude and our approach. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Please like this video, and if you want, go ahead and click your notifications so you know when I put out a new one. Until then, happy hunting, and I'll see you soon.